Trumpets.
No, no, no
Awesome.
trumpets. No trumpets. Howdy, everybody. Welcome to the show. I put the thumbnail up this morning when I didn't have an idea of what to do. So I just said we would do something stupid with radios, aka stupid radio tricks.
That
And
seems
then
legitimate.
about 35, 36 seconds before the show started, Jim was like, "Do you have a TinySA?" Yes, I have a TinySA. Do you want to try and show how to use that on screen? Like sharing the screen of your computer, not sharing the screen of the little teeny tiny
Right.
SA thing. So
Right.
maybe we can do that. And I have a radio that I can test with it. Y'all like TIDs, don't you? I like TIDs.
Everybody, we all like tits.
So,
Everybody
and
likes
to,
tits.
to be fair, I think that they have come a very, very long way from their original early broken radio programmer thing. Sorry, Dingus, wrong channel.
Dingus.
And have made some glorious mistakes, but have also made some recoveries. I don't want to say glorious recoveries, but they keep getting better and better and better. And if only certain other radio companies could make better products come out on a faster product launch cycle, that would be pretty awesome. Imagine how far. What are you holding, Jim? What was
Nothing.
that?
Nothing.
Nothing? Nothing?
I should have told you not to say anything. I was going to see how long it would take the,
Oh, yeah. Nothing gets
the
past me.
the chat. There it is. There she is. There she is.
That is live on coffeeandhamradios.com. Go buy it out before the Thursday show because there ain't going to be none there.
Right. Right. And it's actually printed correctly. The camera is reversed because reasons. So there you go. Isn't it beauty? Let me see if we can get a close-up beauty shot here, Steve.
She's
Hang
a
on.
she's a beaut. I
She's
don't know
a
what you're doing.
beaut.
I'll wait.
She's a beaut.
It's very berry, Glenn. It's not
Yeah.
quite purple. It's not quite pink.
Yeah.
So would you say it's more purple or more pink, Jim?
I'd call this purple myself. That's what I'd call it.
So the
But,
pink was kind of like really washed out and pastel and didn't pop.
Well, the problem is we cannot get pink.
Hey Jim, can you go like backstage and into wardrobe and put on your pink PFG Columbia shirt?
I don't have a pink PFG Columbia shirts on.
Really?
Yeah, really. I don't got one.
For some reason, I doubt that. You got that bright yellow one. What's wrong with pink?
I don't have a yellow one. It's orange.
Okay.
I don't have any pink shirts. There are no pink shirts in my inventory. Not a one.
My dad used to go to work with a yellow shirt and green pants.
Yeah, there was this guy at work, place I used to work, and he always wore stuff like that. And he said, I don't care. She buys all the clothes. I don't care if she dresses me like a New Orleans pimp. Because he'd wear like lime green pants and a striped polo shirt and stuff like that.
It's the T-Mobile color, and they call that magenta, but that T-Mobile color is pink, folks. Don't let them lie to you.
Right.
That's Jim
Magenta?
Periwinkle. I like it. It's Periwinkle.
What color is magenta? I don't
Magenta's
really.
Purplish.
Okay. It's not a color I recognize. Roy G. Biv are the only colors I recognize, and the jury's still out on the I one. So
if it didn't come in the original Crayola box of 8, I have no idea what you're talking about. That's blue.
Exactly.
That's blue.
Exactly.
All right, so I guess we should like do some shows type stuff. I don't know. So I have this case, and depending on what time you came into the show, there will be links in the description for the case and the stuff that's in it and the radio that we're going to show. If you didn't see the links down there, hit refresh, and then tomorrow when you go back to rewatch on Team Replay, because I know y'all like to like binge watch this over and over again, because I do. I'm actually going to change the thumbnail. It's not going to say stupid radio tricks anymore because we actually now have something to talk about. So this case holds my TinySA and my Nano VNA and all of my accessories, and look at that. They fit in there like a glove, like they were made for it. And I have these little mesh.
That is a snazzy setup you got.
Bags. This is what I do, man. I love making cases for things. So that's the mesh bag with all of the USB cable and SMA cables, and then this has the test standards, and it has an adapter to go from SO239 to SMA, and it's got the antenna for the TinySA that nobody ever uses, and it has the attenuator. These things go bad. We'll play with this on a future show because I have a bad one and I have a good one. I just have to remember where I put the bad one. And we'll test out and show you how you can tell if it's bad. This is the good one. I'm pretty sure this is the good one. But this will make it so that when you key down your radio, you don't blow up the front end and melt your TinySA. So this is important. It's called an attenuator, and it drops 40 dB off of the radio. And then this is the extra USB cables, because why not? They fit in the
What
case.
is do you remember what the input on the TinySA's limit is? Is it like minus 20 dBm?
It actually says it right on the TinySA, and I can't
We
read it because it's in front of my face, but
we
it
can't read it
says
either. 10 dBm.
plus 10 dBm, so a maximum of
Okay.
10 dBm. And we got to get out one of those fancy handy dandy converter thingamajiggers.
It's going to be 1/10 of a watt.
Yeah, I'll just agree with you on that one.
I think.
So
I'm trying
you
to
take
math
your
in my head. It's too many zeros.
TinySA and plug it in via USB to your computer, and then you can see Jim. Where is he? There he is. Now Jim's on both sides of the screen.
1/100 of a watt. Excuse me.
Yeah.
I knew I dropped a zero.
And then, and in true Nuggets fashion, if you guys haven't been here before, we do not know what we're doing. We're blazing trails together because we're a big ham family and a big community, and that's what makes all this stuff important. Is that we get to hang out and spend this time together and learn together. So if y'all are shouting at the screen, then I'm doing my job, or I'm not doing my job, but you know, I'm doing my job that's getting you to shout at the screen.
So
Like-
1/100th of a watt is 10 dBm. The dBm scale is log 10. So 0 dBm is 1 milliwatt. 10 dBm is 1/100th of a watt. 20 dBm is 1 watt. 30 dBm is 10 watts. I missed a number in there. Anyway, 50 is 100 watts. 50 dBm is 100 watts. So it's critical with these things. And even the big spectrum analyzers don't take that much power. 10 dBm is 100th of a watt. So yeah, you will absolutely fry that TinySA if you don't have a attenuator like Steve is showing. So even your low budget Baofeng radios on low power is a full watt, which is going to be 100 times the input threshold on that thing. So yeah, you will kill it. You will smoke the front end. I don't know if it'll literally smoke. That could be something we could do. I might donate an abri to the cause or something. But yeah, Steve's exactly right. You got to have an attenuator for this to have a positive outcome.
Pasternak, the Infinity brand, Pasternak. All right, so I want to convert watts.
Already
I
did
want
it.
to input it. I know. I want to do it on. I want to share with the people.
Oh.
So this is Pasternak.com. Oh, Todd, thank you very much, Todd.
Todd, appreciate it, man.
We want to convert watts to dBm. So 5 watts is 36.99 dBm, which is greater than 10. I mean, I can do that math on screen. So then if we take 36 minus 40, 40 minus 36.99 is 3. So 3 dBm, which is why the TinySA can still measure it. So there is the converter, and I will leave a link to that in the chat. It's a big link. Oh,
And honestly, you can type
2
the
pages.
same thing into Google. Convert XX dBm to watts or XX watts to dBm, and
Bang
it'll come up with an answer.
5W in dBm. Nope, that took me to the calculator. 5W2. Oh, because I'm not using DuckDuckGo. Never mind. 5W in dBm.
I type
If you use
convert.
DuckDuckGo,
I type convert. Well, there's the answer
Yeah.
anyway. Google did do it, even though you didn't type it the way I do. But
Yep,
good.
3 dBm.
Excellent.
Right there. January 18th, 2024 was when they last calculated that. That's not today. So anyway, back to what I was saying. DuckDuckGo has this thing called bangs. If you guys haven't used them, bang is a reference to the exclamation mark in Linux. If you type in bang G into DuckDuckGo, it will take whatever you put after it and search Google for it. If you type in bang YT for YouTube, it will go search YouTube for it. Bang A will go search Amazon. Bang E will go search eBay. Bang W will go search Wikipedia. And there's probably more, but those are the ones that I use off the top of my head. So there's that. So on the TinySA page, we need to find the thing about the TinySA software. TinySA Saver, whatever it's called. Oh, there's an edit sidebar link there. Can I edit this dude's website? That would be bad. Oh, password. I'm gonna do some live password cracking on Nuggets.
Sure. Get John the Ripper.
Right. Which, by the way, is how we got the password out of the X6100.
Right.
I mean, I did it the hard way. I went in and changed it, not knowing what it was. PC control. There it is. Oh, that's the Ultra. I don't have the Ultra. Is it not a... Did I just blow this whole show out of the water by trying to do something that can't be done? Oh, no. It's not under Ultra. Never mind. I was getting excited.
You should be able to do it with either one. Because we're going to be, well, now we're testing it VHF frequency, but I think the regular TinySA will do that. I don't think it has the cool harmonics menu. So you'll have to
do it manually? Yuck.
Yeah. It'd be
Happy loss of typing ability day.
At least we ain't got to compile nothing, right?
Well, shut your mouth. We're not sure yet.
At this time. Right, at this time. It could happen. Ed has been a member for 36 months.
Oh,
26 months. I gave Ed 10 free months.
Up. Thank you, Ed. If you scroll up, our buddy Frank also dropped his membership milestone. Today is going to be your last day to do that on Nuggets for this month. Then you get a fresh one next Monday.
Also, David, member for 6 months, KD9 Whiskey Tango Alpha. Yeah, see, I was looking up DBMs. So that's awesome. Oh, and Mr. Shane dropped a $4.99 super chat that we didn't get to either. So Shane, thank you. Adventures in Blind Videography, appreciate it. And Ham Radio Wilderness Frank, KG6NLW, member for 6 months.
All right.
Thank you, fellas, all.
I've put the link in the... Thank you, Frank. Thank you, Shane. Thank you, James. Thank you, Ed. And thank you, Jody. Jody just snuck in there.
James, 25 months. Very good.
So I just dropped the link for the TinySA's QT TinySA for Linux and Mac platforms. I'm running this stream off of a Mac. So I am going to try and install this on a Mac. And if not, I have a Raspberry Pi up and running that I can try.
Will there be compiling?
Don't know yet. So if you go to GitHub, one of the quick things you can do, and I may be wrong about this repository where the software is stored, on the side there is this releases thing, and this was last released 3 days ago, so that's positive. If I click on that, there should be a way to download, and there it is. And this is the last packaged up release that the developer has done. So I'm going to copy that link, and I'm going to open up my terminal.
While you're doing that, Chuck Chambers, howdy Chuck, has asked what a good source is for attenuators.
eBay. Not eBay. Sorry, Amazon.
They're all over the place, Chuck. You can get them on Amazon. You can get them, I would have said, from a certain ham radio company in Mississippi. However, you've got very short amount of time to buy them there.
If you refresh the video, there is a link in the description. Why is it not updating the screen? There we go.
The other thing that we didn't mention about the attenuator that Steve has, and he didn't mention it, and I can't tell from the one he flashed, they're also rated for different power levels. So that one is 10 watts, which will be fine for what we're doing. Yeah, yep. 40 dB at 10 watts. And you'll also notice on that sticker, it said DC to 3.4 gigahertz. Attenuators vary by frequency. Typically, the higher in the frequency, the less attenuation you'll get. So don't expect 40 dB of attenuation at UHF frequencies, because it probably ain't. It may be. I don't know without putting it on a scope. So pay attention to that if you're buying one. If you're only going to ever play with HTs in your TinySA, a 5-watt one is fine. If you plan to hook up your 100-watt HF rig to it, you may want a little more than 5 watts. And Steve and I both have showed, and so has the Primate on our channels, the cell wave attenuator, which is also 40 dB and rated for 200 watts. So you can put the spurs to it.
And it's got an inductive tap, so you can actually you can do what we're doing with that big boy too.
Yep.
But
and I've done a lot of videos.
I like to put this right on the antenna connector of the radio.
On the antenna connector. Either way.
Go straight in.
40 dB is 40 dB. Just be careful of your power rating is where I was going with all that.
Yeah. So I have downloaded the file from the website and put it into a test directory. I'm going to tar-xzvf, which is extract a zipped formatted verbose file by the name of Qt. This is how I remember these things is through mnemonics. How do you guys say that word? Mnemonic?
Mnemonics.
Mnemonic?
Mnemonics.
Because Jim adds a U to it for some reason.
That's how you
There's
pronounce
an
the
extra
word.
M in it too.
That's how you pronounce the word. Don't ask me. I didn't write the word. I didn't make it up.
All right, so now I have the press.db file, which is probably a SQLite database. You'll run into those a lot in open source software. And then I have the Qt TinySA. I'm going to do file Qt TinySA. See what it says? It says it's a 64-bit executable. So crud, that is already compiled for Linux because it says ELF, and I know that ELF is the Linux binary. So that's not going to work on Mac. But what I'll do is I'll remove the junk, and then we'll try the source code. We might be doing some compiling. I don't know why it's compiled. I thought it was Python, but it does. It's fine. It's fine, folks. All right, so let's do source code. Copy. Go back to here, and then paste. Really? Really? Did you? Yeah. Did you see what it did?
Yeah. wget source code.
Yeah, it copied the text of the link, not the link of the link. Let me go do that again. Copy link address. Paste. Hey, look at that. All right. So tar extract zip compressed verbosely file by the name of that. Oh, look at that.
I see it. Oh, those are a bunch of screenshots.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's all your Python right there.
So let's do. And my Python is rusty. What was the command, chat? What's the command to take this requirements.txt file and download all of the requirements?
Is that pip install?
Well, pip is the way I would do it one at a time, but I thought there was one that would say do all the ones in the file.
I thought it was a flag and pip. I don't
Well,
Python much, but I don't remember having to do a separate command. I just did it with pip. It's what I remember.
Okay. I was just verifying that Python 3 was an actual command. Pip install -r. Pip install -r /requirements.txt. And it's going to have to be pip 3 because it wants Python 3.
It hasn't rejected you out of hand.
Neither is my wife. There's still time.
Right? I mean, I've been married to Plaintiff 2 for 30 years. So far, so good. The jury's still out, but
Yeah, you've been trying. We're not writing software radioactive. We are compiling software for the TinySA. And as usual on Nuggets, we don't know what we're doing. We're just going to wing it. Black tumblers are out. Pink is the new black. Look at that.
here they are. See, I even changed the camera back so you can verify that the printing is correct.
Okay, so we successfully installed a bunch. We have a bunch of warnings. Usually you can ignore warnings. You can really rack your brain. It's like going from 1.3 to 1.1 SWR when you're tuning your antenna. It's close enough. Let's get it done. All right. So now that I've got the requirements installed, I should be able just to run the command qttinysa.py. It's not complaining. Configuration database has been created. You guys
This
can't
looks
see that,
good.
but it's
This
telling
looks
me
good.
a message that it's doing the thing. We have application. This is a new Nuggets world record.
We're at layer 7, and I mean, geez, we're only 14 minutes into the show.
Yeah, after 14 minutes of
epic.
BS and 1 minute of effort, we have landed this plane. Let me share the screen so you guys can know what I'm talking about over here. Look at that. That is sexy. I like that.
Beauty.
See, now
And
I
we're
got a
doing
big SA
this.
like Jim does.
We're doing. You wish. We're doing this for you guys because otherwise you have to look at an overhead camera on that screen that'll probably glare. So this will be a lot easier to
This
see.
little. I mean, it looks big when it's the full size of the camera I'm showing, but I mean, it's not even the full size of my hand, for crying out loud.
It's a Wii.
I mean, I could palm that if this was like a, look at that, gone.
Right. James Hannibal, this could be rigged. That's right.
It's
No,
always rigged.
we literally made up this plan about 2 minutes before Steve
Yeah,
hit the go live
this was all
button.
Jim's idea. If this fails horribly, miserably, it's Jim's idea. Just putting that out there.
And by the way, while we're at it, let me do mention before we get too far down in the weeds here, the tumblers are available on the website right now. Link is in the banner, the Chiron below at the bottom of your screen.
The Chiron.
The Chiron. Coffeeandhamradios.com, which is always the website you need to go to. Do not go to other links that say things like Square Site and stuff like that. Go to coffeeandhamradios.com.
It's going to change soon. We've been lazy and haven't had a chance to deal with it.
I think we're pretty close to ready to pull the trigger. We need to talk about that, but
we do. Is there not a font size control? Because this text is super tiny.
Let's
move this.
Oh, look at that. That's better.
Well, for you, yeah. I'm trying to figure out how to make the text size bigger. Don't see it. Preferences. So I have absolute maximum, max with auto attenuator, max for best accuracy. I can't share the screen with you. It's the way screen sharing in StreamYard works. Peak marker settings, detection threshold, scan point settings, points per resolution bandwidth, auto minimum points, auto maximum points, external mixer, local oscillator frequency above and below. What is this? They had a dress rehearsal.
Mike's calling shenanigans. It's working too well.
Mike, you know me better than that.
We ain't got it working yet. I mean, it's not working. Steve's still trying to struggle with he can't really read it, so it's kind of like nuggets.
All right. Well, it's funny because like I click on this drop down for trace one, normal, average, max, min. You guys can't see that.
That looks like it's very, very,
screen.
very berry.
Yeah, it does. But that's what I have my Mac OS set to.
I mean, it's color coordinated with the tumbler.
Look at that. Yeah, now that we planned. Okay, so I can't do auto attenuation. I need to do -40, but it's not letting me change that. I haven't connected TinySA yet. Auto RBW, I don't need to do that. Can't turn it back off now. I don't know why I can't turn that back off. Yes, we could. Thank you, Glenn. TinySA not found. Well, it's not on. That's why it's not found. Let me turn it on. So it's upside down, but that's what the screen looks like. Upside down. And would I like to allow the accessory to connect? Yes, I would. Hey, it found it. This changed down here.
Oh, where did it change?
In the lower left corner of the screen. It changed from TinySA not found to telling me which version of the software is running on it.
Sweet. This is going remarkably well. It's 10-7.
Yeah, I know. This is weird. Spur on. That's weird. I still can't turn off some of this stuff. Oh, okay. That's because that's a checkbox. It should be a radio button. If you guys are software developers, you know what I'm talking about. See how it's switching when I click it?
Mm-hmm.
It's not supposed to do that. Those are checkboxes. You can select more than one checkbox, but you can only select one radio button. All right, so
Chris
the mission parameters are, go ahead.
Chris said you have to change your system fonts in the system settings.
Oh, I hope. At any rate, we need to get the radio out of the box. Instruction manual.
That's right.
This is nuggets. So Doc Brad sent in those M17 boards, and he's like, we need to call and pregame and get set up for the show and maybe like read some instructions. And I'm like, Doc, no, we don't.
Is he not seen our show?
We do not do that. Okay. So I have the TID Radio TDH3, and this thing is also palmable. Look at that. That's pretty tiny. And I need to pull the rubber covers off of the post.
Your TID is small.
Thank you.
Is that the model that burns your hand when you transmit?
No, that is the H8, and this is the H3. And then
Okay.
they were
Okay.
supposed to have fixed the H8. So I plug the attenuator directly in, and if you have the right gender of SMA connector on the radio, then that leaves you the right gender of SMA connector to plug directly into the TinySA. And there's no reason why you shouldn't do that. It's actually probably better if you do that. That way you don't have to worry about attenuation on the cables and zeroing out for device under test and all kinds of other stuff, because you can't. You can't buy enough accessories in order to do all that. I'm going to turn it on.
Jody speaks the truth. We're just
Welcome.
lucky we have ham software at all. Let's not complicate life with proper UI design. Right. Or web pages that were made in the last 15 years. I mean,
Yeah,
2003 called, they want theirs back most of the time.
KD is talking about adapters, and so that's what this bag is a collection full of adapters.
Yeah. My adapter case is out of reach right now, but I have one of those plastic. It used to be a cigar case. And it's one of those plastic, like an Apache style case, you know, plastic Sealy thing. Yeah, one of them is full of SMA BNC adapters, and the other one is a little larger, and it's full of all the N's and PLs and SOs.
Okay.
You can never have enough adapters.
I tossed that instruction manual, and I actually literally don't know where it went, other than over my shoulder.
Is it up on the mantle?
No. Casualty of nuggets.
Did Mrs. Tio come in behind you undercover and swipe it up and clean it?
She's actually wearing a green cloth, so
Yeah.
she's actually right back there right now. Okay, so how do we use this software?
So what I would look for, the first thing I'd look for is, let's go set your start frequency and your stop frequency, because that's how it's going to have to work. That looks like
So these are
band
presets.
changes. Yeah.
This is presets inside of the settings menu. I really don't want to do that. I want to do, so turn off presets, done. And I want to do 146.52. That is over here, somewhere on this side of the screen.
Yeah, it's probably the
Oh, look
rightmost side. Oh, it's even marked the bands.
Oh, do you see that?
Yeah.
I'm dragging with the mouse. This is the most advanced piece of ham software I've ever seen in my life.
Right? These people are forgiven for their color choices and any other little foibles. That is awesome.
I was totally not expecting that to happen. Okay, so we have set our frequency, and I've got it centered up on the screen right here. Oh, and look at that. You can zoom in by rolling the mouse wheel.
That's probably your start and stop frequency, your scan range. I would assume that's how you're going to set it, since I don't see a setting anywhere.
I'll be in my bunk, folks.
You need some me time.
Yeah, I don't know. Normal, delta, peak 1, peak 2.
Leave the peaks on.
Those are markers. Yep, marker 1, marker 2, marker 3, marker 4.
Turn them all on.
Peak.
Make them all normal. 3, we don't really care about delta.
Peak 4. Well, so I wanted to find the first peak. So my choices are normal, delta, peak 1, 2, 3, 4. So M1 is 1, M2 is 2, M3 is 3, M4 is 4.
Yep.
Good enough for me. Let's see.
Put the spurs to it.
I don't see. Run?
Yeah. Key up, son.
I'm keyed up.
Mm.
But it didn't do anything. Oh, because I'm on the wrong frequency. Hold on. Nope, that's channel mode. Frequency mode.
Matt has dropped a $4.99 super chat. Thank you, Matt.
Matt. Awesome.
Going to deploy his car antennas at field day.
Sweet.
And you need one of these for field day too, Matt. Just saying.
Yes. Keeps your hot beverages hot and your cold beverages cold. Okay, so that's at low power. Where is the menu key? Okay, that's turning the frequency.
Yeah, my TID's out in the shop in the shoebox full of sad radios.
Oh,
it might be a function menu, I think, on that guy. if I remember. I don't know. I don't have mine here, but I think it might have been a
Oh, it's the
two key
big blue
sequence.
button that says BT,
Okay.
because that makes sense for the menu.
Bluetooth.
And there's like 50 some menu options. Jeez. Scramble. Oh crap. We've got scramble on this one. So what I have to find out, I don't know if you guys saw my scramble video or not, but what I have to find out is, does a scramble Baofeng match a scramble TID? Does match a scramble Redivis? Does match a scramble Radiodity? TX power low?
I can tell you that it depends on the kind of scrambling they're using. If it's voice inversion with the same flip factor, they'll work. But with
Yes.
DMR radios, for example, the vendors are not even the same between DMR radios. So a Redivis and an Alence are not the same as a BTEC as far as the crypto is concerned. Even though they both have crypto, they're incompatible with the way they encode it.
So where is my frequency?
It's in the middle of the screen.
No, I mean, I'm keying up and you see nothing.
Oh, okay.
That's all, I guess.
What's that?
That's the entire frequency range of the device.
Oh, yeah, okay.
2 gigahertz Wi-Fi, not this device. Sorry, folks. 23 centimeters. Now I know where the scale is. Oh man, I have a headache. There it is.
Now I would scoot the 146.5, scoot the 2 meter band all the way over to the left. Yep.
I'm also zooming in a bit because the 2 meter band is just these two little yellow segments here.
If this has harmonics, and my money is it does, there's only going to be one signal in the 2 meter band. The rest of them will not be in the 2 meter band.
So I am minus 400 dB, which is not going to get me anywhere. It's odd that it's actually more intuitive on the device than it is on the screen.
I was trying to see if you can set your reference level.
Oh, stop that. You might be able to, but I don't see a spot for it. I see this 400, auto PTS 400, so let's do 40.
I don't know. I think that's your data points for your sweep.
Okay, so let's do
resolution bandwidth.
It says auto.
Trace 1. Go to your trace 1. What does the drop down give us there for choices?
Normal, average, min, max.
Okay, normal's fine.
I set it to max and it didn't change. Do normal. It's going to take forever to get down.
Try page up or page down. Yeah, soup bones. A lot of radios are just voice inversion, but a lot of DMR radios actually have encryption turned on them because it's DMR is repurposed from business radio, and crypto is not illegal for business radios.
This is going to take forever. Get more real estate on the screen.
Chris is a true Nuggets fan, Chris Bricker. This is starting to become a true Nuggets stream. Everyone spoke too soon. We got the software turned on, but we can't figure it out yet.
There is a chance yet to crash this plane. I mean, I should be able to find some place on screen here to change the, what is that, the x-axis?
The y-axis.
The one that goes up and down, the y-axis?
The y-axis, yeah.
I always get them backwards.
Right, Stephen? That thing ain't going down to minus 400 dB. Which would be like a... I can't even come up with the word for that.
All right.
A nanowatt, a femtowatt.
Quit. Problem solved. Let's do it again. Start. Lower left, put your frequency in those two boxes. Why do I have to scroll like this? You, Todd. That is awesome. All right, let me move this over. And then we will present, share screen, window, TinySA.
Lee
Add
has
to
a
the
good point.
stage.
Can we right click the vertical axis?
Oh,
Lee,
Lee, you're my hero.
we can't see it. We don't know if you're right clicking, but judging by your
Yeah,
response, there's a
you can see
context
it.
menu.
So if I right click, it says view all, X axis, Y axis, mouse mode, plot options, and export. Okay, now we're back on track. Let's get to 146. Whoa, 146.52. That puts us into the 2 meter FM range.
Okay, now as you zoom in, it's also zooming in the x-axis. You want the x-axis at about a positive 30.
Positive 30.
Yes.
Oh, the X axis. No, you mean the Y axis.
The Y. Dang, you got me confused. The y-axis.
So you want plus 30? Oh, look at that. It just went straight to it.
Bueno.
All right, I'm keying down. Ain't nothing happening.
All right, click that button on the far right that says run and then do it. Now key your radio.
Measurement thread running. Data error. Okay. And there's no like stop running. Whoa! That was weird. It went 3D.
That's right, other Richard. The live chat brings the pain. Other Richard has been a member for 4 months. Thank you, Richard.
KD, it's fine as long as you're around here. So what we have, hold on. I got to do a soapbox moment here. KD says, and we learned how to scroll. Good job. KD, I appreciate the feedback. I will tell you what though, the feedback I give in return, and not to you specifically, but the feedback I give to everybody is 2-minute rule. So if you haven't been in the conversation for 2 minutes, you can't talk. You have no idea what we're talking about. You, however, have been. But this is one of those things where like you and your coworker are talking around the water cooler, and somebody walks up and like jumps right in the conversation and hasn't been there long enough to know what you're talking about and starts telling you all the you shoulda. They should all over you, as I like to say. So yeah, just tell them 2-minute rule. Back off. Yeah, you've been here. You're good. All good, KD. Thank you. And we got Doc Brad in the house, and I just clicked on it.
Just got his flamingo car tumbler. All right, Doc.
All right. We're going to be sold out before the end of the show, folks. We're going to be sold out before we measure harmonics.
Somebody
so the funny thing about
some boxes first.
Yeah. It's upside down. The TinySA screen is, look at that. It's frozen. And when I key down the radio, which is why it's shaken, nothing happens. I don't know if that's what it's supposed to be like, but that's what it is like.
Okay.
Marvin wants to know, can I change the lower left? The lower left says 59. I did try to change that. And so it says 59020. Let me change it to 69020. 59.020. So it's changing something.
I don't know what that's changing.
It's changing the x-axis because now I know x is horizontal.
Oh, yeah. And you're below calling frequency anyway. You want to have that x-axis needs to be like 140 to 500.
So I bet you're onto something there. 10. I think that is the span.
Okay.
34. Let's do.
I mean, you can do that with the mouse, right? You did that with the mouse earlier.
Yeah, I can. So key down on the radio again. The radio is transmitting. Nothing is happening. I didn't have the run button. No, it's still running.
Still running, yeah.
Nope, now it's running again. Because the interface doesn't tell me, but the debug console output does tell me.
Okay.
It said measurement thread stopped, and then it said started again. I don't know. Plus what? M1 frequency greater than M2 frequency. Okay. What is that comment?
He said we've had useful output in less than 90 minutes. It's a huge win.
Right?
Absolutely.
Spur on, auto attenuate. Spur off, auto
So the chat
RBW.
is telling us that it looks like you're scanning from 87.5 to 146.
Where do you see 87.5?
Well, I don't at the moment. But
Because the lowest number over here is 125.
well,
And then 146 I would have gone
okay,
with.
see on the left side where it says FM
FM
and broadcast.
124.26 and broadcast is 135.
What do
These are
those drop downs
that
do?
this picks presets. So the top one is FM, DAB, or TV, and the bottom one is show all, amateur, beacon. So I'm going to click amateur. Poof, and nothing changed.
Okay,
on screen.
all right.
But these are presets that show up inside of a preferences screen that I can't share with you. Maybe I can. Let me see. Stop, present, share, window. Oh, I can. I have to share a completely separate window in order to make that happen. So this is the preferences screen, and you can see the list, and these things here look pretty familiar. So there's amateur, beacon, etc. 4-meter amateur frequency, 70 to 70.5 is start and stop.
Oh,
so I
go down to add row.
Add row, okay.
Which we can't see now, so I have to trust you.
Well, I clicked the button, and it's the top purple.
Yeah.
So I can call it.
Oh, I guess you
Jim.
just type.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we want to make a new. We want to make a new preset.
Beacon because you're loud, and I want to do what? Starting frequency of
140 meg.
140.
Go to 500.
Of 500.
Mm-hmm.
Visible true, and then color. Really?
I don't.
Alice blue. It's got to be a blue. Is there Azure? There we go. Azure for Jim. Okay, I've now added a row. So let me close that window, and then present, share, window, that, add.
Is it stopped or is it running right now, Steve?
It is still running.
Stop it. Perfect. It shows stopping.
It shows stopping, but it hasn't stopped yet.
Okay.
So
what is that little character out to the side of your preset list?
And it's a plus sign. And when I click that, it says that it is greater. Holy moly. Where did you go? There you are. Yeah, so when I pick that, it doesn't change the frequencies. Like I can pick a preset off the list. Oh, that one changed. Why did you not change? Let me go back in and check the preferences real quick. Yeah, the frequencies are typed in right. But when I pick your frequency, it doesn't change. But if I pick one of the other ones, it does change. So this is 30, and it changed it to 545 to 546. Anyway, let me do 146.5, 140.
140 to 500.
To 500. Okay. And
beautiful.
then the signal, the y-axis is good. Key down, nothing.
Oh, well, it still says stopping. Yeah.
And it's not actually stopping. So let's reboot the TinySA. I've lost connection. Is it going to automatically regain connection? It did not. All right, well, let's do this again.
Dave, I didn't set up an option on the website. Very Berry is the only option. If you go to the page where you're actually telling us how many to order, it's the pink one. There's only one color tumbler. I was hustling to get it on the website before the show tonight, so it's not all perfect, but all there is Very Berry.
So I've connected and reconnected the TinySA. I'm going into the frequency 140. 500. Okay, that works. Y-axis is
way too low.
30.
Yeah.
Okay, 23.25 is close enough. and my frequency's changed. There we go. I gotta hit run. Still nothing. Nice. I don't know what those sliders do. This is a very non-intuitive interface because we've been at this. Wow, we've been at this for like half an hour now. Berry. That's almost as good as Periwinkle. Oh, Katie's
Oh,
calling you out for
I
wearing
I know
Illini
he is
colors.
always Illini, son, always. Unless my wife's in the room, and then it's War Eagle, go Auburn.
Oh, that is weird. So if I have the application window that I'm sharing on the built-in Retina display on the MacBook, the text is crisper in StreamYard, and if I move it over to the 1080p screen, the text is blurry. That's pretty
So
neat.
it's weird. We have a great question from Ham Till It Hurts, and I will take this if you don't mind.
Go
So he's
ahead.
talking about the range of 144 to 146 would be the EU range for 2 meters. Is there setting to make sure you're in ITU region 2? So the radio is what's set for the frequency. What we're trying to do with the TinySA is sweep a range of frequencies from 140 to 500, because if we can figure out how to get this software working, when he keys up, you'll see a spike over here on the left-hand side, right, which is his fundamental frequency. And then I'm betting money there will be other spikes stretched out at 293 and whatever 146 times 3 is and 146 times 4, which are the harmonics. And what we want to see is this will be at some level, and we want to see that these harmonic peaks are below 40. They're 40 dB from below this level here, and no more than minus 16.02 dBm. So that's what you're looking for and what we're trying to set up with this software. Now, Steve can do this on the TinySA and it'll work fine. We're just trying
And
to,
I've done it in plenty of videos.
yeah. And Steve's done it, Ape's done it. I've not done it on a TinySA, but it's the
I
same
can switch to it again
thing.
soon.
So it's a good question, Ham, but we don't care about the regions. The radio is whatever the radio transmits at, and it let him key up 146.52, so we're good there.
Yeah. So if your radio is clean, it should not broadcast on any harmonics. If your radio is dirty, then they didn't put the proper filters inside the magic black box, and you are
Right.
transmitting where you shouldn't, and you're splattering all over everything. Can you change something on the TinySA screen and see it on the computer? No, I cannot. The TinySA screen locks up when the computer has control. Yeah, I'm pressing buttons all over the place and changing the screen, and nothing is happening on the computer controller. Okay, so let's see. Let's do 444. Okay, and then I need to go into menu. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to program in a local repeater. Again, not knowing what I'm doing.
I think it will auto offset for you unless you've turned that feature off. It should auto offset once you put it in the 2 meter
not.
repeater area. Oh, those guns.
It should, but it does not.
Philip has an interesting point. Turn on all 4 traces.
Okay.
I don't think
After
that's
we
going to
get-
fix it. Yeah, go ahead, Steve. I don't think that's going to
After we
fix it,
fix it.
Philip, because I would think the trace that I don't know. I don't know how that works. That's a good point, though. We can try it.
The paradigm for up and down and left and right in China is different than it is in the US.
They are on the other side of the world. Just be glad it's not Australian, because then it'd be upside down and backwards too.
So when I set one CTCSS tone, it automatically sets the other CTCSS tone.
But I think there's a separate menu for turning each of them on.
There is.
Yeah.
offset.
Because see, like the fire department radios, we had a transmit and a receive tone on the fire department stuff. But I've never seen a repeater that has both. Usually they just have a transmit tone.
So as an example, this is on option, let me take this off the screen. This is on option 23. You can see the yellow text in the bottom box. And then if I can do this from here, if I hit the down arrow, it goes to 22. If I hit the up arrow, it goes to 23. And it is correct, but it's a list that goes down. It's not, and yes, the numbers increment and decrement, but it's the list. I'm scrolling down through the list by pushing the up arrow. That's why it's weird. Plus. Okay, I do believe I've got it programmed in now.
Awesome.
And it's doing the offset.
Yep. Key that again.
So
Key it one more time. Okay, never mind. I thought it went to 448, but it's 9. Yeah, it did it. It did
Kilo, Mike 9 Golf for ID. What's the button next to FM that is a play button?
Mel Davis
on the
is
TinySA
breaking
stream.
the rules and reading the instructions. Have we got SQLite installed on that box?
If I didn't have SQLite installed, then it would not do anything at all. It already created the database. That was the first
Yeah,
thing
it
that
did. It did say that. That's right. It did.
Yeah. Hey, Joey, I'm testing a radio on a live stream. Can't talk right now. Thank you, though. All right. Let's see. So now I need to plug this thing back in.
You guys do not, you cannot be serious, because if I autographed your mug, you couldn't read my signature anyway. I was a paramedic for 27 years, man. I mean, my writing's probably not as bad as Doc's, but it's close. We go to the same handwriting school, I'm pretty sure.
All right, we are plugged back into the TinySA antenna. And just for grins, I'll key down and nothing. What?
Well, you don't have
it. Tump over tumbler ordered. Thank you, Dave.
Is it turned on? Are you
turned on?
Are you running on the software?
It says stop. Let me do it again. Running and key down. Nothing.
Damn it.
And just for grins, let's pull this out, which just freaked out the software. Reset.
That's exactly right, Jody. Free bag of ringers included with every signature, with every signed mug.
Center is 146.52 megahertz. No, I don't want you to cancel. Oh, because I have the offset programmed in from the repeater, and 146.52 plus 5 megahertz is out of band.
Out of band. Oh, you know, that's a good thing, though. That means that they have it programmed correctly for the United States.
Yes. But that gets me every time I do this.
Jody,
Yeah.
I've done that more than once. I cannot count it. I love doing it. I mean, I'm channeling Johnny and Roy every time I ever did that.
So just to show you, let me take the software off the screen. Just to show you that the TinySA is doing the thing, I'm going to key down. Why are you doing that? Wrong button. There we go.
Oh, okay. So
this is not harmonics mode. This is TinySA is working and not putting out enough power to make the attenuator hot yet. So let's do, while we're here, because I'm going to set this up for harmonics.
Yeah, change your frequency range. I don't know if that one has the harmonic. Is that an ultra?
It does. It's not an ultra, but it does have harmonics.
I couldn't remember. I've got one in a box somewhere. I haven't used it in a couple years.
Level, attenuate, manual, 4.0. That's different than normal. Oh, that's why. Auto. I chose the wrong one. Minus 40. So we're 40 dB down. Let's go back. Let's display, draw a line at minus 16.02. And then as we key down, it starts to figure itself out.
Let me hold on. Let me solo you.
And that looks clean.
No.
No, the second harmonic is right on the blue line.
What's the number for the second harmonic? I can't read it.
The number for the second harmonic is minus 50. So it's 50 dB down from the primary.
What's
and
the?
it is on the blue line.
What? Well, I mean, is it above the blue line? Or what's the absolute value in dB? That's what I'm asking you. The absolute value in dBm.
It was minus 50. Well, it's dBc. Why is it dBc?
Because you have it
Yeah,
set
it's below the blue line.
Okay.
Yeah, cool.
Then Robert's your mother's brother.
Right. Not bad, TID radio.
Much better than the original one. Certainly better than the turd pod.
Frank is pointing out that Mac has no testing for the Python script because Frank went and read the manual behind my back, you filthy backstabber. Linux is the design UI and Windows has minimal testing. It is not NIST certified equipment. It is close enough. So in a video I did last week, I tested a radio and it was like just above the blue line. And I said, I probably should put this on a better piece of test gear. But if it's far enough below the blue line, I'm happy. And thank you, Ed.
Jody.
Nice. Thank you, Jody. So, I don't know. Brent, no worries. Thanks for being here. Close enough for government work, close enough for handwork. So the other part of the problem, and this is going to bend somebody's antenna. I'll tell you that right off the bat.
Uh-oh.
This right here is the real moneymaker of the situation. Your radio does not transmit directly through an attenuator into a perfect piece of test gear. Your radio transfers through this crappy antenna that is not resonant on any useful frequency or anything like that. It does not have a counterpoise, so Ape will not be happy. Like, I can't put this on the Nano BNA for you right now because as I wave my hand around the antenna, the SWR will change because that's how uncoordinated this antenna is.
Have you got your Nano?
I do, but like I said, it's gonna show ugly. So,
well,
it's what?
I mean, yeah, it's going to change as your hand moves around it because you're going to change the capacitance. But
yeah,
still,
so it's not going to read the right SWR, is what I'm getting at.
It'll read close enough. I mean, have you got it? Can you just like set it and not touch it, back away a couple feet, and it'll show reasonably? I've done several videos on rubber duck antennas, or at least one on several antennas.
Mark, I have a signal stick, but we need to reset for all of that because I got to dig out the signal stick and figure out where it is.
They vary a lot on those HT antennas. There's a tremendous amount of difference.
But we're going off on a tangent. What I was getting at was this is clearly not a quarter wave on 2 meters.
No,
because that would be 19 inches ish.
Right.
So when you key down on the radio with this antenna attached, go with God because hardly any of your signal is getting out, let alone your harmonics are getting out. And then Ape and I went into radio reference in my area, in my neck of the woods, in my neighborhood, and tried to figure out just what I would be stomping on because I have some friends that are in the fire service here. And so if I go to the fire department and I get out one of their fancy Motorola radios and I key down right next to it, there's two problems that might happen. One is I might overload the front end of their radio being so close and blasting 5 watts of fury directly into them from, close range. And it's going to mess up everything no matter what. So that's not really a valid test. So I need to go, I don't know, across the room, across the street, across somewhere, and then broadcast. But my local fire department's on 155 megahertz, which is not a harmonic of 146 megahertz.
Right.
So I'm not clobbering them anyway. So 293, there's nobody in the 290 region.
Well, so You make a very valid point. Since your guys are on VHF at 155, it's not going to affect it. You're going to be right around it. But like this, what we're looking for, what Steve was showing us on the TinySA, you're looking for two things. According to the 97.307E, the rules that cover this, the harmonics, having harmonics is not a fail. You can have harmonics as long as they're 40 dB less than the fundamental frequencies output power. So if he's at 5 watts, which we've said is 36 point, let's just say 36 and change dBm, 36 dBm is 5 watts or 37, whatever it is. So if Steve's at 37 dBm, he can have a harmonic. He can have 4 or 5. And on a lot of these low-end radios, you're going to have, because they're not filtered for crap. But if he's at 37 dBm, positive 37 dBm, any harmonic that is minus 3 dBm or lower is okay, because it's 40 dBm less than his primary signal. And then the other requirement that they have for radios from 220 and below, there's like almost nothing for UHF. It's the wild, wild west, is that it has to be below 16.02 dBm of output power, as well as 40 dB below his fundamental. So it's two requirements. 1602 dBm is 25 microwatts. So, and Steve's point, and the reason I was saying all this is Steve's point is somewhat valid. If he's got a fairly low output power, even if it's showing a harmonic, it may or may not interfere. It just depends on where he is, how good of an antenna he's got, the way he's holding his mouth, is his shoes tied. I mean, I'm not saying it's a good thing or a bad thing. I'm just saying it's going to depend on a lot of factors, and it may not even interfere. It may not even interfere. But that's the regs. So.
KD is a physicist. We're going to need to have some more conversations here.
No, Lee, we don't need a class for me to know the difference between dB and dBm.
It's Lee's turn to play Jody.
Right.
Jody's turn to play Don, and Don's not here.
dB is a relative measurement that's unitless. dBm is specifically in reference to 1 microwatt at 0 dBm. Yes. But when you're talking about up and down, all in the same units, you can kind of assume the M, because all we're talking about is dBm anyway, so the units cancel each other out. But yes, dBm is watts. dB could be dBi, dBUV, dBm, dBd, whatever.
dBW.
dBW.
Yeah.
If you want to go full gangster.
So going back to the topic of the radio in question, it has a flashlight. And I've said this before, I don't use this flashlight for anything at all. I have a real flashlight that I carry with me, like any real ham should. And I don't mean the one on your HT. Light check. Oh, crud. Here we go.
Whip them out, boys. Whip them out. That's right. Woo. Steve's, yours nuking the camera.
Yeah. This is the O-Light.
That's what I got. This is the
O-Light Arcfeld.
This is the I2C.
I like O-Light.
I love O-Light. I got several. This is the one I carry in my pocket.
It's just the ham coin challenge. No, I can do the challenge coin thing as well. Let me pull that one out, because I always carry this one around with me.
I don't have challenge coins.
She's beautiful.
That wasn't a thing when I was in the military, which is the only time it would have made any sense at all.
Right.
So buying a challenge coin makes no sense. And Lee, yes, milliwatt.
You don't buy them.
Depends on where you're getting them from.
You win them. It's a challenge. No, I don't know.
Right. It's a challenge to spend your credit card to buy a coin. Right. Lee is taking over for Jody tonight, totally.
Yeah.
No, we don't have them in the fire department.
We have clearly run out of things to talk about on the show.
Right.
We are at an hour and so many in, and we should have stopped at 19 minutes when we got the thing working right.
You missed the comment. You may or may not have missed it. Frank was sassing and said we could do this in Windows and it would work.
Oh yeah. I actually don't have a Windows machine here at all, and I was suffering the pains of that over the weekend. So I have a channel donation of a shuttle PC that came in a long time ago, and that machine came from the factory with Ubuntu Linux installed on it. So I'm like, okay, fine, it's a Celeron. I'll put Windows XP on it. The program I need to run is Windows XP. Windows will not install on that machine. It will not boot at all.
So you don't have a machine that runs Windows?
No, not currently. And then what I did was I installed the latest version of Xubuntu, which is lightweight, and then I installed VirtualBox, and then I installed Windows XP, and then I installed the Windows app, which ran, but I couldn't get the drivers to run, and I couldn't get the right version of .NET to install, so I installed Windows 7, and this took about 6.5, 7 hours of labor yesterday, which was kind of fun and also ridiculous. And I got it all up and running, and it doesn't select the device that I'm trying to use to measure. It shows the device, it shows me the firmware, the license number, the serial number, blah 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 blah. Like it sees it, it's fine, but it does not do the thing. So Windows 7 was the last good Windows.
Yes, it was. It was good Windows. 8
Stayed
was
out
an
of your way,
abomination.
was
Actually, I
relatively
have no
pretty.
problem with 10 or 11. They both, I've not any problem.
Oh, 11's horrible.
Okay.
Glenn
Well,
had to
Pumpkin,
do
I have an XP machine I will be glad to send you. It's still in the box that it came from eBay in when I bought it.
no,
Okay.
no. I have a bonus laptop coming from a radio purchase. So it's supposed to be a Windows laptop. We'll see what happens.
All right.
What about Windows VM on the Mac? You can't do that anymore unless you pay for it, and I am not willing to spend money in Microsoft's direction. I
Doesn't
run a
VirtualBox run on the Mac?
Apple
Doesn't run on the
Silicon.
Apple Silicon Macs. It runs on the Intel
Yes.
Macs. Yeah.
What happened to the $99 laptop? I exchanged it for a Raspberry Pi thing that's in a box right there that I need to get to make a video about.
So
I
you
want to say
can't
it's
get
the
it to go in
Nexus
Wine?
digital radio, Nexus DR1. No, it won't run in Wine because the device. So we're talking about the CBA from West Mountain Radio, the computerized battery analyzer. And the computerized battery analyzer is a USB device, but it's not a serial USB device. And Wine doesn't understand non-serial USB devices. So, like if you have a USB printer, Wine forwards all the printing requests to CUPS, which is the common Unix printing service, which then shoves it out to the printer. So
Right.
Wine doesn't actually do any of the magic USB printing stuff. Windows 3.1, no, man. Windows for work groups, Windows 3.1.1.
Yep.
Because that added networking, and networking is important. Oh, I did do DOS 1.25. I did a video
miss
on my retro
DOS.
channel on DOS 1.25. That was interesting. DOS Basic. Microsoft's GW. You know what the GW and GW Basic stands for?
Gee whiz.
Gee whiz. That is correct.
Do you know what the first 2 bytes of a DOS executable are and what it means?
It is the gentleman's name, Michael Z something.
That's
MZ.
him. Yep.
Yeah, I don't know his
MZ.
last name.
First two characters of a zip file.
PK for Phil Katz. It's Phil Katz, right?
You're old. Yes. Welcome
Yeah.
to my world.
Right.
Very good. That's some awesome DOS trivia there, buddy.
Yeah.
Somebody asked in the chat earlier, and we were busy trying to get that godforsaken program working correctly, which is a shame because it looked interesting.
So before you go too far, everybody's telling me in the chat about this W6LG video. I went and looked it up while Jim was ranting earlier.
Me?
He put that video out at the same time that the show started. So how did you guys watch that? What's up with that?
I thought he
Put
was
a video
sick or
out.
something and dying.
He is.
Okay.
He put out he bought two different versions of the exact same radio, and one of them was dirty and one of them wasn't. And that's why you get your own test devices, because even if you buy a radio that I say is clean, the one that you get from the batch that went to Amazon probably
Mhm.
isn't.
We've seen that before with the TIDs, because there was
The
how many
H8.
revisions of
Yep.
the H8 that were all over the map. There was the one that burns your hand when you
Yep.
pee,
So
and
this one here is also funny. Let's see. The FCC IDs are the exact same. The model numbers
yep.
are different.
Hmm.
One is a UV17R, one is a UV17R plus.
And one of those has
Oh, they're both
one of
30.
those has Bluetooth or something or GPS in it. What's the plus?
The plus is no, neither of them have GPS. I did a video on this last week. It has the scramble mode. It adds expanded frequency listening coverage, and it has a better battery.
Okay. MRD says he's got a new turd pod.
Nice.
Is
The
that the
8-watt
same
turd pod?
model? The A36? Is that the same one that we've all seen? I
Well,
can't remember.
it
And
said
that's
they had
probably another
two
one that
different
has.
versions of the A36 Plus. Yes.
Yes. Yeah. It's probably revision number 17. I don't know. So what I started to say, somebody asked this earlier, much earlier in the show. And he's got experience with DOS, and he wanted to know where you learn Unix. DOS is based on Unix. It's very similar, and it's kind of the file structure system and the way that's all laid out is very similar to Unix. Its roots are in Unix. So is CPM, for that matter, which may or may not have come before Unix. I can't remember.
Linux is based on Unix. Yes. DOS was stolen. Yes. 86 DOS was the original DOS.
Yeah. Yep. Mike, what does Mike say? I was cleaning my glasses. Yes, now with more RFI. Oh, he hasn't taken out of the box yet. Probably. Mike,
Compound
maybe
issue
get some
select, yeah,
tin foil and shove it in your pants before you key up that radio. I'm just saying.
Yeah. But you know he does that every morning when he wakes up anyway.
Shoves tin foil in his pants?
Yeah. Gotta
Okay.
be protected.
Well, that's
Sinclair's
true.
ZX80. I do not have a ZX80. I want one. I have a ZX81. I built that from a kit on my other channel, my temporarily offline retro tech channel.
I still miss my deck PDP-11.
You could get the RAS PDP.
Yeah, I've played with the software. It
does the
smelled
thing.
like RSX11M, and then I was like, okay, why do I care?
Yep, I'm done now. Yeah.
Well, and I looked at they make a kit that replicates the front panel of a PDP-11 series with the switches and everything and the dust blinking lights on it. And then you can hook it up to a Pi and run the PyDP application on it. But I'm like, it's not the same. It's not the same because it doesn't smell like a 1970s college computer room with the smell of green bar fanfold paper and sweating COBOL programmers. So it just doesn't have the same ambiance or the sound.
The sound that drowns out your earballs.
Right. Right.
All right, so the TinySA Nano VNA kit is back together. And this
I
is pretty
think it was
cool.
called TRS DOS, if I remember right. I'm a little fuzzy. I
Looks
never
like.
had a TRS 80.
I've seen them, but I've never actually turned one on and played with it.
Me neither. Me neither. I've seen one when I
My
was
Commodore
in.
64 still works. I have built a lot of Commodore 64s and repaired a lot of Commodore 64s. They are a lot of fun to play with.
Played a lot of games on my 64. I enjoyed my 64 a lot.
Oh, Jim has yet to mention Turbo Pascal.
For DOS.
Right? That was my first programming language. Well, my
Turbo
second,
Pascal
Basic.
3. Yeah, Basic first. Basic was in like 79 and then TP in 86.
Basic on the TI-99 4A, which I traded Chase and Tail in high school. And I guess that's all I can say about that on a family show.
Right. Right.
No one mentioned something. I don't know what he said.
Apple Basic. We had Apple IIs in high school. It's basic. I don't remember much about it, but we had some Apple
Messages, come
IIs.
on,
It came with
Frank.
some decent games.
All right. Frank, you can drop that link in the chat anytime you want. He's trying to message me on the back channel. I'll chat at you later about that, Frank.
What's he putting in there?
The link he just posted on the chat.
Well, I mean, it's Frank. So
TI-9948
do
was
we
like the
need to?
first 16-bit computer.
Do we need to vet this?
Nah, it's already there.
Okay.
It's fine.
You know, it's Frank, so I just wasn't sure.
Sonar Shack on
Some
the
kind of
stub.
foamer channel or something. I didn't know what Frank might be posting.
Steve just caught up to 15 minutes ago. He says he loved Windows NT.
Windows
Welcome, Steve.
NT.
When you get here.
Man, I remember when NT40 came out, which was right around the time 95 was out, because I think it stole its interface cues from 95 or vice versa. I don't remember which. NT4 was the schniz back then.
So Big John is saying there are a lot of old computer people in here. Big John, there is a revival of retro computers coming out now. People love playing with those old computers and seeing where the roots were and kind of laughing at, like, this is we did this back what?
Mm-hmm.
Because it was hard. But it's also kind of shocking how far, like the Commodore 64 had 64K of RAM, and you could run a full, it was 1 megahertz, and you could run a full graphical user interface on it.
Yep.
That was pretty cool.
Sprites. Sprites were the thing. I knew one guy that had the Atari computer, the 60.
They had a 400. They had an 800.
I don't remember.
They had the 2600 was the video computer system, the game system.
That was the cartridges, yeah, the game system.
They had the 7000 something. I want to say 7600, but I never had one. So
yeah, I don't remember what Atari had. Had one buddy who had a TI-99 4A.
Mm-hmm.
Another buddy of mine in the Air Force, when I got my 64, he had a couple of pets. So like a Commodore PET, what was it, 4K, 8K, I think 8K maybe. An 8K Commodore PET. Yep. Okay, are we going to keep doing this for 20 more minutes?
Nah, we can kill it.
I
Folks,
mean,
thanks for watching.
Show.
We had some fun tonight. We didn't know what we were going to do. It's been a day here at Casa de Tio, and I was just glad I got to hang out with y'all, and love you. Good to see you again. Get your pink tumblers. Get them before Thursday's show so we can say we sold them out and make fun of those boys for being lazy and not doing their jobs.
Right.
Jim, thank you.
And you're welcome. Always a hoot.
You said end. Okay. See ya.
Did you push the button?